Well, hello again, Richard here on a beautiful Wednesday morning, and I'm just enjoying the sights and sounds of the forest where I live, taking my pooch for a walk. Wherever he's gone, there he is. Bailey, come on. So yeah, had a great time at the LAA rally, saw lots of fantastic planes, and more importantly kit planes, because we've got to talk about next steps. So I've got the license, absolutely awesome, but where do I go from here? I mean, there's a few options. The ones that I've been considering are probably the most sensible option is to do a syndicate. There's some in Compton. I have approached one who turned me down for my low hours, which was a bit of a shame. He's a warrior, just like I've been learning in. There is a syndicate over at Popham, and I'm going to meet them in a couple of weeks' time. And they've actually got 3 aircraft, which is fantastic. One being the Robin, which I really like. And that was actually going to be my third option, which was to buy a plane, which represents quite a bit of money. And I've looked into the maintenance cost of these things, and it's pretty scary, quite frankly. So I'm not quite sure buying one is an option. As much as I'd love to have my own aeroplane, how cool would that be? And there's actually a beautiful Robin for sale over at Sandown, Isle of Wight, at a really good price actually, so I might pop over there and take a look at that one. But as I say, the maintenance costs are pretty horrendous for general aviation aircraft, well, aircraft in general, quite frankly. So a syndicate is much more sensible in that regard. And then my other choice, and this kind of goes back to why I got into flying in the first place, is to build my own, as nuts as that sounds. I'm sure it's a little bit more complicated than building an airfix kit, which is what I used to do as a kid, lots and lots. Here comes the pooch, bless him. And I actually got into the idea of a kit plane because I watched recently a fantastic series called A Plane is Born. If you haven't seen it, look it up. I can't for the life of me remember the guy's name, but he was a TV vet, and he built a Europa tri-gear kit, which is a composite airplane, and it's a beautiful looking aircraft. And there's a few of them in the LAA rally video which I did, and I just love the look of it, and the whole idea of building a plane just really appeals to me. It just sounds so crazy, so nuts to do something like that. And I have zero experience building planes. I've done a motorbike, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, that was my other option, and I've been looking at a few different kits. There's obviously the Europa, which is a composite aircraft, and then you have the aluminium aircraft. So I've looked at the Kit Fox or Eurofox. I think they're 2 different companies, but similar kind of tail dragger aircraft. And I've looked at Zenith aircraft as well, and they do a low wing and a high wing. And what else? I looked at the Vans, which is a very popular kit manufacturer, and they're beautiful aircraft, beautiful. And I've talked to quite a few people about this, and they all seem to sort of point me towards the Vans aircraft. Now the downside with Vans is there's no official UK importer, so you have to do all of that yourself, which is no biggie. Well, it is a biggie, it's quite a hassle actually. And there's no real support in the UK. Well, no, that's not true either. There is loads of forums for the Vans aircraft, but I quite like to have an official point of contact, which brings me back to Zenith. And there's a company called Metal Seagulls, and I've had a nice long chat and met up with the owners there, Jonathan and Patricia, who are lovely people, and good grief, Jonathan is a very passionate man about his craft. What he doesn't know about aircraft is not worth knowing. So I'm kind of going that direction now. So I've looked at the CH650, which is a low wing, fabulous looking aircraft, I love it. And I must confess I do prefer the low wings. And they also do the high wing. They do the STOL aircraft, the short takeoff and landing ones, which look quite fun. And they also do what they call a cruiser, which looks a little bit like the STOL aircraft, but it's a bit faster. It doesn't have the same short takeoff and landing capabilities as the other version, but it's a little bit faster. In terms of cost wise, the low wing's a bit cheaper than the high wing, but the good thing with the high wings is that they're what's called match hole technology, which means everything's pre-drilled. It's just a case of finding the parts and riveting them together. Okay, maybe a little bit more complicated than that, but that's essentially it. So the hours you spend building the high wings are a lot less than the low wing. And I was so impressed with Jonathan, he put me in contact with a local chap, Tony, who's nearly completed his stole, CH701. I've lost the dog. Bailey! Oh, he's there. He's stealthed around me. And it was great meeting Tony, looking at his garage and his setup. And he's nearly done, quite frankly. He's nearly finished, which is brilliant. And I was super excited to be there. He showed me around his aircraft. So he's pretty much finished the fuselage. He's done the wings, the rudder, the tail appendage. So that's all done. So he just needs the engine, avionics, that kind of thing. So he's not too far away. So that concept of building really excites me, and I'm this close to putting down a deposit on a kit, which will be ordered from the States and takes about 4 or 5 months to get here. Cost-wise though, quite frankly, it's probably the most expensive option. The cheapest option, the most sensible one, is to do the syndicate, because you know, they've got the good thing with syndicates is that it's a lot cheaper to begin with, but everybody shares the costs, and the costs are quite outrageous on aircraft. Plus you get to tap into the knowledge of all the other pilots there, which is fantastic, and I'd really like to do that as a new pilot. To be able to tap into people, more experienced pilots' knowledge is a really good plus. So the sensible part of me says do the syndicate, but the adventurous part of me wants to do that kit plane, and I really want to do that kit plane. So up to a point where I've actually started clearing out the garage and fitting out shelving, all ready for this kit plane. So what to do? I haven't actually pulled the plug on any of the decisions yet. I'm going to meet the syndicate up in Popham in a couple of weeks, which I'm really looking forward to, and the fact they've got 3 aircraft there is brilliant. So you get a choice. We've got a tail dragger, so I need difference training on that. I've got the Robin, and there's a 3rd aircraft. Can't really for the life of me remember what it is, but it's very similar to the Warrior, so that's quite nice. So that's it. So ready to go now. I just need to decide what to do. Syndicate, buy my own aircraft, or kit plane. Any thoughts? Gratefully received. Catch you later. Hope you liked the video, and if you did, please hit the like button. Even better, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. See you next time.